Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 12/29/2024. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. I was called by the Holy Spirit this morning with that song at 2 a.m. again. And my immediate response was, what are my rights? What are your rights? What are rights? I do it to myself, like right off the bat. So then I spun out for a little bit. Yesterday I sang, like I talked about in my video. I worked all day, and then when I got home, I chilled for a little bit, and then I worked on some new songs. I do enjoy singing, not always just the words. I do like getting in the harmony. I love that. I haven't done a lot of that with other people, but I did choir my senior year in high school, but I really wasn't the same person. So I'm getting into that a little bit more, but I don't need I really do enjoy singing by myself as well. In fact, sometimes it's more freeing to do that because I don't feel like I am singing to myself and singing to the same Holy Spirit that got me up with the Bob Marley, get up, stand up. So then I got into my thing, and I started thinking about deserve, because we use that word a lot. I deserve. What do I deserve? Deserve. Am I getting what's coming to me? I've earned it. You know, you hear people say that a lot whenever you're saying, I appreciate that you're getting to go on this great vacation and you're going to have a great time. And oftentimes they'll say, well, I've earned it. It's not cool. Do you get it earned? That's how it works? Damn it, that means I haven't earned it. Shit. Anyways, why should I pay for you is another question that you get all the time. Why should I pay for you? I don't owe you anything. And that's where we can really start. But then I would say, do you realize that it is just monopoly money? The hotels are not real. Chance, you know how they have the chance cards and then the community chest cards? This is all about the game Monopoly, for those that live under a rock and don't know what Monopoly is. Monopoly is a board game from the United States of America. I'm going to call it that. And the USA, we created this game called Monopoly. It's got a little guy with a top hat. And there's a whole rabbit hole. We could go way off script just on Monopoly, because there's what they call the Mandela effect. There's some things going on with the guy, if you want to go down some rabbit holes. But the game is understood that it ends in fights. And yet we play it. Who designed this game? It's designed to make you get into a fight. So I won't play it anymore. I had some good memories from when I won, and some pretty good memories when we had to compromise because of major fights. But I just am going to choose that I am not going to play Monopoly, because if I'm going to play Monopoly, I'm going to try to get the 4 railroads, and then I'm going to try to get Park Place and Boardwalk, probably in that order. And I'm going to destroy if the game plays out as it should. But you're going to probably cheat, and I'm going to get pissed. Everybody wants to rule the world. I never wanted to rule the world. I did not hit that very good. Should I do it again? Nope, that's too high. Everybody wants to rule the... It's hard to find tone sometimes when you're off your game. So I just went out a little bit. I wanted to do some Tears for Fears. There was another one. Shout. No, I'm way off. Shout, shout, let it all out. And these are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. So, Tears for Fears. I'm going to go into some conjecture again. They were a big band for me when I was a kid. I remember when they came out, and I remember hearing those songs, and I thought they were cool. And should I get into like personal stuff? My oldest brother loved Tears for Fears, and he had a picture of them on his wall. And I remember when I found out that Tears for Fears were gay, the guys, it was a major moment in my life of I don't really know what to think of that. Because my mom really was trying to raise me to believe that all people were created equal. That was one of her main or big things, I think, is being understanding. And my dad was a very understanding. He wasn't into the whole jive of that, though. And I've lived in this generation which has went from the 80s of everybody thinking that everything's okay the way that we were operating when it really wasn't okay, to now where it's just got some questions in logic. So it's a very shaky ground to talk about this homosexuality thing. Do I want to address this subject? The men's room and the woman's room, the logic of the body God, quote unquote, gave you. And then balance that with your free will, love, what my interpretation logically of what God is, because really that's what you have to back it up to. I am not the same as others. I know that to be true. We don't need definitions. I've talked a lot about that with words. You have to be very careful. I mean, you really want to reduce language. Love is not sex. Sex is for reproduction. That's the purpose of sex. Consent, one to another. Get out of my bedroom, is what I would say. I'm in my bedroom, though, doing these videos. Get out of my bedroom if you don't want to see my mess. I try to position this so you don't see my mess. Why would I be offended by you? Because my children? Are they my children? Do my children speak for me? What do I like? What do I love are two different questions. I am a feminine man. I am not a masculine man. I mean, I can try to get some bravado going. I've got some masculine characteristics, but if there's a general balance, I would definitely say that I lean more towards femininity. I have felt like I have needed to convince people that I am not gay at different points in my life, and I've never really had to convince myself because I've known myself pretty well, but it has been insinuated that I don't know better, like I don't understand myself. So I know thyself. I've spent a lot of time with me, and I'm certain of this. I have no physical, sexual attraction towards dirty boys or ugly men. I don't get aroused by a plumber bent over with the plumber's crack. That does nothing for me. I get turned off by men pretending to be a girl. I get kind of turned off by it. I have an adverse reaction. It's not homosexual repression. It's different. And when I say adverse, it's not fair. It's just like I've talked before about language sometimes, and there's different things. I don't want to go deep in the weeds here. I want everyone to be happy. If you want to do you, you do you. There's all kinds of different things that... I'm going to stay on script. I spell. I don't know what this says. All J, my children? I don't know. I'm going to move on from it. What did I try to write here? It looks very enlightening. It's also raining outside. I special? This is really weird looking. It's ISPE, and then there's an I, but there was like a C. I speak all J, my children. That's my stuff. Sorry. My objections mean nothing, even to my children. Like my objections of my children, it really means nothing at a certain point. Not that I object. I mean, I'm sure my parents had some objections to me and still probably do. If you want to know my objections, I object! I would say the road to understand me is very painful. It's taken everything I have to get here. And although I wouldn't change anything, I'd never ask anyone to go where I went. I'm sure you can find what I found. It's there for everyone. The way is no matter where, when, or who. It's always there. The way always is always. Segue back to so rainbows are awesome. They're one of the most spiritual things that we have on this realm. And they've been co-opted by a narrative that's not associated with them. And it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying there's different ways that things are divided, and you can see it. You can see the division, that it's intentional, and it's because of group management. There's spirituality in rainbows. And unicorns. They're badass, dude. Unicorns are cool. But it's the same kind of thing. Like, they're not masculine. What do you mean? What do you mean, though? Unicorn's not masculine. They're majestic. And it's not about masculine. The one thing I really have been centering in, I went long anyways, why not? Is that snake around that whole thing intertwined together. Medicine isn't biological. Medicine is mind, body, soul. That's all I got. So let's get back into life today, and I'm going to do my best moving forward. The Tao is great. Do great. Be great.